Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Rich220. Today we're going to tighten down the head on the passenger side, and then I'm going to get up underneath. I need to put the connecting rod cap back on with the bearing and some lithium grease, and I have to torque it down to specifications, and then I got to take the oil pan down, straighten it out a little bit, and scrape the old oil pan gasket off. Actually on the engine block, it's not on the oil pan, so it's got to be scraped off, cleaned off, and I got to replace it with another one, or I can use a gasket sealant, or I can make my own gasket. So this is going to be a little bit of a time video. It's going to take some time in order to do this, but let's get started right away, huh? So I actually found out a couple things on the car, that because it's not, actually here you go. There's the old timing chain right there. It's off. That's something that you guys didn't see, because I took it off the other day. And here, bring this over here so you guys can see. The actual head is on the car again. The head gasket has been replaced on that side. I still got to do some cleaning out in the middle, and then I got to take the other head off, and I got to put that in the clean sink. So I'm not going to do the push rods today. I want to make sure I get that middle section cleaned up better than what it is, so that way, you know, it doesn't have so many problems when it's running. Because when you leave it like that, it causes a lot of issues. And we don't want those. We want to try and keep them going, you know? Okay. So anyway, I got to take this valve cover off. And I got to get the screwdriver. The flathead screwdriver in here. There we go. I'll take this one out. And a funny thing happened the other day when I was taking the timing chain out. Apparently either the manufacturer of the car or the last person to work on this, I'm not sure which. I think it might be the manufacturer, because there's actually stamped numbers in the top gear. But it's quite possible that they actually put the bottom gear on backwards. I'm not seeing a timing mark. In other words, that little dot that goes on the top and on the bottom. The top gear has it, and it's pointing down, but the bottom gear does not. And the only way that you can correct that is by turning the keyway to 2 p.m. and that'll bring it back to top dead center. It may be a tooth off or whatever, but usually you can bring it back just a hair more, and it'll line up to the timing marks. Now, a lot of the stuff that I did already wasn't the engine work. When I was waiting on the parts for the car, I actually did a lot of body work on the side. Now, there's still some that's got to be done. I'm looking at this right now. I'm like, Jesus, this fender's still got to be fixed. It looks like garbage. I'm probably going to take this off once again and strip it down to bare metal, and just redo the whole darn thing. I'm just not liking the way it looks. The door in the back is a little bit ratty, but at least now it's not half missing. There's actually metal on there, so you know, it still needs a little tweaking here and there in order to make it look better, but for right now, you know, it actually kind of looks like a door. This piece was also rotted out. I actually fabricated some metal and got it to go up underneath the windshield, underneath the molding, underneath the windshield, and I've checked it. It's underneath there. It's underneath the dash. So she's in there. And then I had to seal it up, so I had to do that. And then, well, let's see. This side's still not done yet. I'm sorry, I gotta carry this with me because I don't trust the why is this thing cockeyed? Okay, so it still looks like I still got to do some work down here at the bottom. See if you can see it, but yeah, you can see the pop rivets. All right, that's all got to be done. This has to be leveled, flattened out a little bit better. Let's see. I actually did do the work in the trunk. There's a piece of metal in there now that's actually closed off the rotted area, and I know it's a little premature, but she has chrome exhaust tips. So, you know, it makes me feel like, you know, sometime in the near future, this car will run, and it actually will run. It's not a matter of a feeling. I'm going to get it to go, but it's just going to take time because I don't have a garage to work on it. I work on mine outside. I don't have those luxuries that other people do. So I'm doing the best I can with what I got. And right now, that's about all I got. You know, I'm a divorced man. I'm paying my own mortgage. I'm paying for a truck payment every month of over $500. I'm lucky I can do this. And most of the time I'm at work. So I don't have time to do this. Really, so that's what I do. I, you know, pay my bills with that. I gotta go run inside. I want to get these push rods. I want to see if there's going to be any problem getting them in. And I'll be right back. Okay, so we got new timing chain and gears. We have a brand new and the correct one oil filter canister cartridge. Then I got wires, and I got the push rods here too. So I'm going to put them up there somewhere. There's still a whole bunch of stuff inside. These are the spark plug wires. Let's see now. 8 of them. Yep, 8 and 8, 16. I just want to see that they're going to fit and there's not going to be a problem. Alright, that goes down there. Yep, so far so good. I got all these rocker arms loose. They're not torqued down, so. And when I get done cleaning them, I want to make sure that I get each one of these primed with oil, so that way it doesn't smoke and I don't have a problem with anything breaking down. And this goes down here. Alright, back up there. It's getting a little windy out here, but the temperature is cooler, so not that much of a problem being out here. Yeah, there. And then we got 2 more for that side, so 2 more for this side, and then 8 more for the other side. These have all been re-cleaned and everything else. I've scrubbed all the sludge off of them, and the next thing I got to do is take this head off. This one's already got a new head gasket, and let's see, why does that look like it's a little bit bigger? Maybe not. Alright, anywho, so I got to put the last 2 in on this, which I might be able to do from here. I just want to make sure they go in. The bolts up top are not tightened down, so just to make sure that there's no issues. Okay. And number 2. Okay. Now, just to give you guys a general idea, this is what it's going to look like when they're back together. But this won't be until after I'm done cleaning, like I said, the under carrier area for the lifters. Push rods are all going to go back in there. And then these got to be tightened down to specs. And you don't do it like this and this and this. Is a timing formula way that you got to do it. So that side has got to be cleaned first after being taken out, and then you put it back in, you tighten it down. I'm going to take these lifters out of here, and I'm going to do them one at a time, clean them up and reprime them and put them back in. And back there I'll have that cleaned up shortly. The actual head surface and the block surface where this head is on is actually clean. I took a wire wheel to get rid of the old gasket, a soft wire wheel, not a hard one. I'm not going to do a grinder. I'm not stupid. But the gasket's on there. It's ready to go. None of the bolts are torqued down. They're just like hand tightened. So if I have to move this or whatever, I'll be able to do that. And then after all this goes back together, this exhaust manifold will go back on where it belongs. It'll be like that. Okay, and then the valve cover on the other side, there's a choke that's actually attached to the exhaust manifold, or at least that's what somebody else did. And I'm assuming that's the way I'm going to put it back. Then it's a timing chain. There's a lot of work that's got to be done here. So, like I said, I'm just giving you guys pretty much like a preview of what's going to happen. This I may not be able to do today. I'm going to probably have to do this weekend because I have to leave in less than an hour. So, but I wanted to give you guys a heads up. I want to take that fuel pump out too and clean that before I put that back in. And maybe I can take a paintbrush with some diesel fuel and clean the bottom of the front of the block here and get all that sludge off. See how like this head's got all that grime on it and then this one doesn't? Well, that's what I want that one to look like. So that's the purpose of that. let's see. Oh yeah, let me show you the area of the trunk, which still got to be worked, but it's not as bad as it was. At least now I don't feel like I can put my foot through the car. Oh yeah, when I first got this car, that was another thing that was funny. It didn't have keys, so I bought brand new locks, and the keys that I have look just like the originals. So, you know, it's part of the thing of what the Chevy guys do, you know, all that jazz. So I got the oil bath right there. I have the generator right there. And there's the fan and the pulley back there. I have a brand new fan belt around here somewhere. I think it's in the front. But right here, it's all pop riveted. I still got to do this here. And then I got to do this up here. But I sealed it up so there'll be no more water getting in here. That's over with. Everything that'll run out will be running out along this border area. And if it gets clogged up with any leaves, I'm just going to blow it out. So that way I don't have to worry about that. We have new thermostat housing gaskets. I have everything I pretty much need here except for an oil pan gasket, which I could probably go and get that from any auto parts store anytime I want. Okay, now what I need to do yet, and this will be after I drop the oil pan. It's not really on there, it's just being held up by some lines and a suspension. But this is a connecting rod cap, which has to go back on the piston that I removed and had, well, the piston that was broken that I had removed and put a new piston on. So this has got to go back on. And then, okay, now this is the tricky part, because see, I wouldn't have known this if I wasn't told this. You see these two bolts? They go on the passenger side and they actually hold the suspension in place. Okay, wasn't even aware of it, had no clue. If I didn't get the information from somebody I know, I would have never gotten the oil pan out and none of that stuff would have come loose. But it pays to know people. You know, they can help you out when you need it most, you know. And then these are oil pan screws. And I think there's a couple of, yeah, there's a couple of nuts for the exhaust manifold, because the exhaust manifold has 3 nuts and bolts that hold them in place on both sides. Then I have to, they cannibalize the hell out of this car. I actually have to find another horn mechanism for inside the car, and then I need 2 horns for underneath the hood, you know, the actual horns itself. Now this, I went through hell in order to try and get this back together, but let's see if you can see it. Well, anyway, that's original dash. That's the way it's supposed to look, kind of, sort of. Right on the other side of the clock there's a piece that was actually cut out. And as you can see here, where's it, in the back, I think, yeah. This was the actual old piece that was on the dash, or at least part of it. Let's see if we can see that. They cut out the area where Bel Air is and everything else, so I just ripped it out and bought another one. The guy I bought it off of wasn't aware that it was for a 57 Bel Air. He thought it was for a 64. So I usually shop around anyway. I try and get my stuff a little bit cheaper than, you know, full price like everybody else pays. There's just, you know, it's just too much anymore nowadays, you know. I mean, with everything else going on, the chaos that everybody's been going through, I wish this camera would stay still and stop flopping around like a, you know, fish caught out of water. But I still got to what is it? I got the door panels made up for the front. I'm going to need one for the back. I might make both of them because I'm going to change the material anyway. It doesn't make sense to have just one and not the other. That's going to be kind of stupid. Then I got to take these quarter glass window pieces out, you know, in there in the back, and I actually have to paint them because they're the original green, and it's going to kind of look stupid with it being deep turquoise and, you know, I don't know what they would call that. It's actually Highland green, but it looks more like a candy apple green or something like that, or oil-based green or whatever, you know. It's got like a reflective matter to it. Let's see, this area here, I don't even want you to see that yet because that's a total mess. I still got to put that together. Somehow I have to get that to wrap around the back of the existing piece that's in here. Then I have to go, the hell with it. It's a mess. It's a basket case. You guys knew it from day one. There's a big opening back here which I actually want to seal up, so I'm going to use some more metal. I might wind up going to the store and try and locate a little bit thinner stuff because that 18 gauge is a bit much. It's kind of hard to bend, it's kind of hard to fabricate, and it just makes for a difficult job. As you can see, we still have the radiator in here. Everything that belongs to the car except for the push rods, well, now they're going back in the car, and the valve cover and the intake and carburetor. Everything is here but the intake, carburetor, and the other valve cover. But I know where everything is, so there's no problem there either. I'm just going to put that valve cover in there for now. And we'll close this. I'm supposed to do a live tonight. I'm not sure if I can. I don't know exactly how to go about it or what I need in order to do it. Nobody has given me any information. So I'm hoping it's not going to be as difficult as I'm thinking it is. Oh, now this thing's going to flop around. Oh, that's great. Marvelous, yeah. All right. Anywho, so that's pretty much what's got to be done on the car. This weekend should be great for it. They're saying it's going to be a little warm one day, and it'll be cool the other day or whatever. So whatever I can get to, I will get to this weekend. And I hope to have this car running soon. I'm not going to get majorly OCD about it because I only replaced one piston with rings. All the other ones are flat tops, okay? So I'm going to have a lower compression ratio in the one with the valve release piston, okay? So as far as the valve stems are concerned and all that other stuff, and you know, the valves and the springs and everything, I was just told mainly just to put it back together. You know, if you cleaned it, it should be fine. It may smoke a little bit, but then again, if it smoked beforehand, it ain't gonna matter because that's what it did. But at least it'll be a running car. If you're looking for perfection, that's when you take everything apart and you make sure it's crystal clear and you have all brand new parts. Well, I'm sorry people, but I don't have that kind of money. I don't live on that kind of budget. So therefore, I can't make this thing primo mint. It's not ever going to be a trailer queen. And a trailer queen is a person that actually has a 55, 56, or 57 Chevy. And what they do is they pull it into the back of a trailer. What they do is they go to a car show. They back the trailer up to a certain spot in the parking lot. And they roll the car out of the trailer, okay? And put it in park, and they move the truck with the trailer somewhere else. When the show is over, they drive the car 5 feet, which doesn't even accumulate a mile on the car, and they drive it home that way, okay? They don't drive the car. And in my mind, you can't enjoy it. That's because most of these people actually have had what we call checkbook mechanics. People that are charging way too much for what work they want to have done. You know, people want to have done. And I am a witness to this. I can testify. I had a friend of mine actually introduced me to a guy that was supposed to help me put a timing chain on this car and the gears, and he told me he said vaguely $800 or $900. I'm like, really? To put a timing chain under? What are you getting paid? $200 an hour? So that's where I come up with checkbook mechanic. Okay, they're overcharging you, they're taking advantage of you, and people don't know any better. Anyway, I hope to see you guys tonight. I hope everything works the way I need it to in order to get everything up and running. If not, I will make another recording like this and let you guys know. I hope everything does, but I'm sorry if it doesn't, okay? I'll have to try again another time if that's the case, where I have more information in order to be able to do that. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell for post notifications. None of you people have been doing this. I don't know what's going on. I got over 4,273 views, but I've got only 34 subscribers. Okay? I'm not going to get anywhere that way, people. You know, I'm not going to be able to get this out to other people. There's people that need to see an easier way of working on cars instead of taking it to somebody who's overly expensive. Or this way they can work on it themselves and pick out of what I'm doing here in order to be able to do it for themselves. But they're not going to be able to if I don't have people subscribing and I don't have word of mouth going around and people aren't watching my videos. So please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for post notifications. All right? I hope to see you guys soon. Like tonight. Today's Friday. If not, I'll send you a message via video letting you know what happened. Okay? All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.